Hey everyone, good afternoon. This is a webinar by WirisQuizzes about auxiliary algorithm line. So today we have Jordi Massot, who is our customer success specialist, and myself, the product manager of WirisQuizzes. And today we will be explaining to you how to use better the new feature of WirisQuizzes, the algorithm lines. So I pass the word to Jordi, the customer success specialist, who will now guide you through this new feature of ours. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Firstly, we would like to explain why we have developed this new feature, which we call the algorithm line within CalcMe. There are several reasons from why we have performed that new feature. And as we are going to explain now, our goal is to make the user performance easier and more comfortable when we are using CalcMe to create algorithms in WirisQuizzes. The first new feature is the possibility to copy and paste multiple lines. With the old procedure to define algorithms in CalcMe, we could only copy and paste single expressions, and we couldn't copy blocks of code, for example. And with the new procedure, this is possible, so we can earn time in repeating that blocks that we used to write it manually several times. Now we can do it once and copy and paste it through all the algorithm. Another interesting thing is the possibility to convert all WirisCast algorithms which had some intermediate length that had some problems in the CalcMe sheet. Now we have the possibility to automatically convert it to the algorithm line that it's acting like the old WirisCast code editor. So there are not going to be more problems with this. And there are three more features that are minor, but we also think they're important and interesting to take into account. That is the auto-completion mode. So we don't need to remember by heart all the available commands, and we can use the auto-completion mode to find those commands which we could be interested in, and the system will automatically complete them. We can also create long algorithms without the lack of performance that the CalcMe sheet showed before. And finally, we have a new comment syntax mode that allows us to introduce comments through algorithms or inside blocks of code. That is something that in the CalcMe sheet it wasn't possible. So in this sense, we would like to show you how this can be done. Firstly, this is the conventional CalcMe that you may be familiar to, and at the upper right corner we have the algorithm option. A small box editor is opened, and here is where we can type wherever we want. As we were acting in WirisCast or in the single CalcMe sheet, and we can use that sheet to check if our values are performed correctly. Before, we used to do something like that, but as we have said before, it wasn't possible, for example, to copy all the line. Now we can create two variables, for example, and copy all this code. So if we want to just create different variables, but with the same syntax, now it's more comfortable to do so. And the system is ready to do this copy paste. As you can see here, all these variables will take different values. Even though we have copy and paste the code, the system acts as if we have had written it manually. So we can waste time. We are not going to waste time writing once every single comment. Another interesting thing, as we have said, if we don't remember how these commands are set, we have a list of the commands that starts with the word that we have started typing. So if we are looking for some more complex that around the random, we see how many of these can we have. I will change the name. I think this is not the appropriate syntax, but the idea is that we can use this auto-completion mode to look for all the available commands and to use it smoothly. Yeah, as we have said, we also can easily comment these lines. Yeah, this is a comment, and these comments can also be changed to comment to the algorithm easily by deleting the syntax. That wasn't possible before. We need to create comments using the corresponding action here, the text action. And if we wrote something that we want to change for a comment to a not a comment, it wasn't as easy. We needed to copy and paste it. But now, if we are writing an algorithm and you want to change this behavior, is as simple as deleting the hashtag. So for now, this is a comment. So let us see is anything. But if we want to activate it again, it's as simple as decommenting it. So it's also easier for users to combine these kind of things, and it can also be useful if we are performing a programming loop. We can introduce here some comments to explain the procedure that is being followed in the programming loop. That is something that it wasn't possible before with the sheet. Here we couldn't include a comment. It wasn't allowed, so it was set outside the loop, and we can comment each step that we were following. So now it's possible to explain what are we performing inside the loop. So that's another feature that can be very interesting for users that want to share their algorithms between teachers or between different users, so they can understand easily what the code is performing. In this sense, we also wanted to make easier the conversion of algorithms written in WirisQuizzes. Here, as we can see, a WirisQuizzes Studio session where we have an old algorithm written by WirisQuizzes. WirisQuizzes is still available if we want to modify the algorithm using the old calculator, but as you may know, there are some incompatibilities with some browsers. So we have developed a conversion algorithm that allows to convert this algorithm to the normal CalcMe performance using the CalcMe sheet, or using this algorithm line type. So if we select the convert as algorithm option, this code is translated directly. So the procedure is taken into account, and it's not necessary to write it again or to experiment those problems that long algorithms gave in the CalcMe sheet. So that for us is a very advanced that we would like to share with you, to show you that those problems that some users had with WirisQuizzes or translating that WirisQuizzes algorithm to CalcMe have disappeared, because the code editor will consider the WirisQuizzes algorithm as it was written in CalcMe, and there is no problems with this translation. Yeah. Yeah. And we would also like to use this webinar to talk you about the new release of WirisQuizzes, the WirisQuizzes 4.4, that has introduced the new statistical features. And we will do a specific webinar where we will explain in more detail what this what it has to offer. But the idea is that we can do more complex statistical questions. As you can see in my screen, there are three kinds of statistical options, that is the line chart, the bar chart, and the pie chart, and the students will be able to interact with this kind of objects. We can provide them with an initial content and with an initial graph that they need to modify to fit in the statement that we have set. So the students will need to modify, as you can see in this example, how the student is modifying the pie chart to fit the Alice received 13 votes, Bob 9, and Charlie 4. And the system will consider if the pie chart is equivalent to the correct answer, independently of where the pieces are set. So the idea is that it can also do an automatic validation without the professor needs to check where the graph is correct or not. So we'll focus more on these new features, and as you will see in the corresponding webinar, we will talk about all the options that it involves and how you can create these kind of questions. But from today, we would only wanted to show you the possibility and to focus on the algorithm line options and how they can perform in WirisQuizzes. So
Thank you so much, Jordi. I think we have a question from Bala Kumar. If Bala is asking, do you have any API to convert CAS algorithm to CalcMe algorithm? And I ask you all, if you have more questions, feel free to share them in the chat, and we will have some minutes to answer your questions.
yeah, I can answer this question, Carolina.
Perfect.
I tried to explain it through the presentation, but as we have seen, yeah, let me import again the corresponding question. Here we have an old question defined in WirisQuizzes 3, and with the algorithm is defined with WirisCas. As you can see here, we have it in the old calculator, and the WirisQuizzes 4 has the option to convert this algorithm to CalcMe, but in the sheet, as you can see here, that's the old procedure to define that variables that works well with short algorithms, but that has some problems or some performance problems when the algorithms are very long. So sometimes the old procedure to convert that algorithm wasn't working smoothly. So we defined this new method to translate the algorithm to the new procedure, to the algorithm line, that is the other button, the convert as algorithm option, that provides us the same algorithm we had in WirisCas, but defined in the algorithm line. And as you can see, so it's a variable. The variable A works properly. The variable test also works properly. Is checking if the answer is prime and it's greater than 50. So it also works, and we think that it can helps very much to teachers that used to work in WirisCas to start working in Calc. I don't know, Carolina, if there are more questions. Well, I can look at myself, I think. Yeah, for the moment, I assume there are no more questions, but we also invite you to share your questions with us so we can provide us with an answer. No, well, Kumar is asking if the demo page is the only place to convert the cache to CalcMe. With version of WirisQuizzes 4 or greater, this option is available at your site. So you will have the conversion option at your end. If you update correspondingly the WirisQuizzes version to the latest, you will be able to enjoy this converter at your end.
Do we have any more questions? I don't see. Yeah, we have one from Gregory. Okay, perfect. So thanks everyone for your time. As Jordi, we have another one. Will latest WirisQuizzes support CAS algorithm?
Yes. WirisQuizzes, from WirisQuizzes 4 to the greatest versions, it's not possible to create new questions using WirisCast. If the question is new, as you can see here, the define random variables and function sections gets to CalcMe directly. But if you don't have, if you have an old question that has this WirisCast algorithm already performed, you can yet modify it using WirisCast if your computer supports all the Java applets that WirisCast involves, but you can use the run calculator option, and the WirisCast applet will download here, and you can still use it. We strongly recommend you to move to CalcMe, because CalcMe is the current calculator that we currently support, and we have new versions with new features. So we understand that are more interesting for you. But if you still feel more comfortable with WirisCast, you can still use it for the moment.
Yeah, exactly. So if you have any more questions, feel free to also email us at support@wiris.com, and we will be happy to support you. We will be soon doing another webinar also about the new release, the Statistical Features WirisQuizzes 4.4, but it's already available, so you can update your WirisQuizzes software to the latest version and feel free to try it. But we will do a session trying to go a bit deeper into these new features. We will also be sending you a short satisfaction survey about the webinar, so let us know your opinion, and we hope to see you soon in the next webinars. Thank you so much, and thank you, Jordi.
See you.